Seattle is a city that looks forward, from pioneering aerospace to leading the tech revolution. Yet its roads are stuck in the past, gridlocked day after day. Now, a new chapter in transit is unfolding. Sound Transit is preparing to launch the next Sounder train, designed to carry Seattle into a more connected, efficient future. What's coming down the tracks? Let's explore together in today's great Trainspeed episode. Operated by Sound Transit, Seattle's Sounder commuter rail stretches across 82 miles of tracks, most of which are owned by BNSF Railway, with Amtrak handling equipment maintenance. Launched as one of Sound Transit's very first projects, Sounder has steadily grown since its early days. Station construction began in 1998, and service officially opened on the South Line, today's S Line, on September 18, 2000. Just 3 years later, the North Line, now known as the N Line, began running trains to Everett. Through the 2000s, additional trips were introduced as Sound Transit, and BNSF completed critical signal and track improvements. The system continued to evolve. The S Line extended south to Lakewood in 2012. Midday trips began in 2016, and both lines received a refreshed brand identity in 2021. Looking ahead, the S Line is expected to reach DuPont in 2045, funded through the Sound Transit 3 program. Today, Sounder connects the region with two main corridors that meet at Seattle's historic King Street Station: the N Line to Everett and the S Line to Tacoma and Lakewood. Service is primarily focused on peak commuting hours, morning trains into Seattle, and afternoon trips heading outward, but limited midday service, along with special weekend trips for sporting events, makes Sounder more than just a workday connection. Stations also provide practical amenities such as park and ride facilities, bicycle storage, and convenient fare payment through Orca cards and mobile ticketing. Ridership trends reveal both challenges and resilience. In 2024, Sounder carried 1.9 million passengers, averaging 7,300 riders on weekdays. From January to July 2025, numbers fluctuated sharply. January saw 164,000 riders, followed by a winter dip to 136,000 in February, the lowest point in this period. Yet demand quickly rebounded in March at 163,000 and climbed to 174,000 in April, before stabilizing at 166,000 across May and June. July brought the system's strongest showing, reaching 185,000 riders. This 7-month pattern reflects a familiar rhythm: a sluggish winter, a spring resurgence, and a summer peak. More importantly, it highlights Sounder's gradual upward trajectory and the growing role it plays in the daily lives of commuters. Against this backdrop of recovery, Sound Transit has announced a major addition to the system: a new Sounder train. This isn't just another schedule adjustment, it's a statement of confidence in the future of commuter rail across Puget Sound. For a region long defined by highway congestion and limited travel choices, the arrival of new rolling stock represents more capacity, more reliability, and more opportunities for riders to choose the train over traffic. So, what exactly will this upgrade look like, and how will it reshape the way citizens move across the Seattle metropolitan area? Let's dive in and explore what's next for the Sounder. But before we dive in, if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay on track with every update from the world of trains, only here on Great Trainspeed. Sound Transit is moving forward with one of the most significant upgrades in Sounder's history: a $92.7 million midlife overhaul of all 58 railcars that have been serving commuters for nearly a quarter of a century. Approved unanimously by the agency's board of directors, the program is designed not only to extend the car's lifespan by up to 20 years, but also to deliver visible improvements that riders will notice every day. After more than 2 decades of heavy use, Sounder's passenger cars are starting to show the wear and tear that comes with thousands of daily commutes and millions of annual boardings. The once state-of-the-art pneumatic door systems have grown less reliable, sometimes causing delays as crews work to reset them. HVAC units, designed for an earlier era, no longer meet modern standards for efficiency or passenger comfort, struggling during Seattle's increasingly hot summers and damp winters. Inside, years of constant service are visible in the aging upholstery, scuffed flooring, and dated control panels, reminders of how long these cars have carried the region's workforce. The overhaul will be comprehensive. Floors and restrooms will be rebuilt, interiors and exteriors repainted, and lighting upgraded to brighter and more energy-efficient LED. Riders will see new USB-equipped outlets at every seat, making it easier to charge devices on the go, while cyclists will welcome sturdier bike storage to replace the current storage that has often proven unreliable. Perhaps the most impactful change will be the replacement of the aging pneumatic doors with modern electric motor systems, promising faster, smoother, and more consistent boarding. That's a small detail, but one that can eliminate frustrating delays at busy stations. Behind the scenes, critical systems such as wheel sets, couplers, and HVAC controls will also be renewed to ensure another generation of dependable service. The work will be carried out by a Sistra-Brookville joint venture at a facility in Pennsylvania. To keep trains running, Sound Transit will remove no more than 5 cars at a time, rotating them through the refurbishment process while substituting newer vehicles purchased in 2020 from Alstom. These 11 cars, acquired as part of a joint order with California agencies, will help maintain capacity as the overhaul progresses. The first refurbished cars are expected to re-enter service in 2027, and the entire program will take more than 6 years to complete. The cost of the program has risen since it was first conceived, requiring an additional $62.5 million in funding due to inflation in labor and material costs across the rail industry. Sound Transit had initially been able to postpone the project, since Sounder's fleet has lighter use than many commuter rail systems, but waiting also meant facing today's higher prices. Still, the agency's choice reflects a clear commitment. Rather than allowing a cornerstone of its commuter service to age into obsolescence, Sound Transit is investing now to preserve reliability and improve comfort for the long term. By bringing its fleet up to modern standards, Sound Transit is ensuring that Sounder remains competitive with both regional road travel and world-class commuter rail systems abroad. The timing is critical as the region pushes forward with ambitious light rail expansions to Linwood, Federal Way, and Redmond. Keeping Sounder strong ensures that commuter rail will continue to anchor the broader network. For the next 20 years, commuters should be able to trust Sounder not just as a way to get from point A to point B, but as a service built around their daily lives. And that raises the big question: can Sounder truly be prepared for the next 2 decades? Drop a 1 if you believe it can, or a 0 if you don't. The aging of Sounder's fleet is more than just a matter of appearance. After decades of service, the original Bombardier passenger cars are showing visible wear that increasingly threatens reliability. Sound Transit's decision to launch a major overhaul is to preserve the vehicle's full, useful life and ensure the dependable service riders count on every day. Yet this moment comes at a time of challenge. Since the COVID-19 pandemic struck in 2020, Sounder ridership has fallen dramatically, with total boarding still below half of 2019 levels. Riders notice the gap most when comparing Sounder to Link Light Rail. Where Link offers trains at predictable intervals throughout the day, Sounder's schedule remains tied to the traditional peak hour commute. A few trips exist outside of rush hours or in the reverse direction, but many passengers find the service far too limited for their daily needs. The public has been clear about what it wants: more trains. In a 2023 Sound Transit survey, nearly 90% of respondents preferred additional trips over simply lengthening existing trains, and more than 80% specifically called for weekend service. Today, the only Sounder trains that run on weekends are tied to special events, mostly professional sports. Across the country, transit agencies are beginning to acknowledge the post-pandemic shift toward all-day, all-week service. But translating that vision into reality has been slow. Meanwhile, Sound Transit continues to invest heavily in station access. Construction is underway on 1,500 new parking stalls across the S-Line, with new garages in Kent, Sumner, and Puyallup. The price tag is striking, about $240,000 per stall, raising questions about priorities as the agency balances parking expansion with service improvements. That wraps it up for today's journey. Thanks for riding along. Until next time.